I would love for our stories to just be told and therefore be remembered for generations to come. But there is also something about archiving, right? And being like really intentional about that.
Absolutely. And to your question, the first thing that comes to mind for me is the 150 years ago, the failure of the Freedmen's Bank in 1874. You mean to tell me that these newly freed Black people had $3 million in the 1800s for the federal government to lose? And yet here we are. Like, if that's not resourcefulness and creativity and innovation that needs to be told, right? Yeah. And needs to be like current generations, the next generation, we need to be informed of the power that our ancestors held to still thrive. And somehow here we are today, even as byproducts of that. And so thinking about storytelling and archiving, we can even get down to when we're talking about wealth transfer and heirs property. If no one in the family knows whose name is on the deed to grandma's house, like that's a simple story that we can keep telling in our families that's going to keep our wealth out of probate, out of the public court system. And it allows for us to move that wealth down a generational chain in a way that becomes normal, right? And we understand that wealth is a part of our identity and that we don't have to go seeking or being validated because it's being told and held by our own ancestors and elders in the family.
And I don't know about y'all, but I'm feeling something in my body because I'm struggling a bit. When I hear the word resourcefulness, I also sometimes hear the word resiliency. And there's a power in resiliency because it is a response. And then there is also a struggle with resiliency because I argue that resiliency is not a state that we should be perpetually in all the time.
Lord have mercy.
Agreed.
Would you like to bring the Lord and the mercy in this space? Because what's going on in your body? Because as you're talking, I'm feeling this like, why are they always losing our money? Like, and then we got to rebuild. Why are they always bombing our towns? And then we got to rebuild. And the story that we normalize is the rebuilding. And what we have to be resilient through is the original destruction and the bombing and the breakage to begin with. Right. And so it's like, I know for me, I can't dwell in that space. But there is also something about, like, if we're going to tell a story, are we telling the full story of these cycles, right? Because as we're getting and moving forward towards a more digital entrepreneurial reality, what are the ways that the stories of the ways we were harmed can also be a part of how we build anew, not just participating in the newness of the new thing, right? Because because you're reminding us that we have always been a part of the new thing, even when there were chains.